Night Live with Tracy Gold. I'm so excited to have you here. So, this is the question of the evening. Can the right clothing help you to lose the weight that you desire? Is it even possible? And, if somebody were to have said this to me a while back, I probably would have thought, I'm not sure. But because of the experiences that I've had, I've actually heard this time and time again from my clients. But I decided that it's one thing for me to tell you, it's another thing for you to hear a first hand story, a real life story of a real life woman who had this exact experience. So, welcome in my friend, my client, Jessica, who feels like my friend already, right, Jess?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for having me today.
It's so good to have you here. So, Jess, the reason why I wanted you to come on the show is because you and I were texting back and forth, and you said to me, you were like, "Oh, Tracy, I've lost weight. And I just need to check, like maybe I need to go down a size." And so you and I had this discussion about how that happened. Do you want to just tell us your story?
Absolutely. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually a newer mom, not a new mom. I'm almost 1 year old daughter. And so I was going through a lot of body changes. And luckily and unluckily for me, I had my daughter during winter. So it was very cold. It was really easy to hide behind baggy sweaters, baggy sweatpants. And so I didn't realize how my body had changed after I had my baby and how it
Mm,
was continuing to change while I was pregnant, while I was nursing, while I was recovering from my C section. So it wasn't until I started getting closer to my daughter's baptism that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wear sweatpants to a baptism. Like, I
I
need to
remember,
find something to wear that looks nice.
I remember that
And I
moment.
was trying to search out. Yeah. And I went to the store, like my normal stores that I would normally go to. I picked the right size that I thought I was before I was pregnant, and it just didn't fit. Like nothing fit. I
Mm,
sized up, it looked awful. I went to different stores, nothing fit. They can do alterations, but who knows if that would even work.
mm.
And I luckily knew Tracy from her previous days on Luxcellent, and she was starting to do her own collection on the same shopping app that I had used at the time. And she had this beautiful collection for the spring. I mean, the fabrics were amazing. It just looked so fabulous on her. But I kept looking at Tracy and looking at myself. I'm like, we're not the same body type. But she
Mm.
kept convincing me it's gonna fit. Don't worry. This is for all women, all sizes. Just try it. Trust me. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I've been on her show at least 10 times before I actually bought something.
Yes. Yes, I remember that,
um,
Jessica. Mm.
and it wasn't just the dress. It was also like, hey, I'm concerned about my arms. They're a lot different than they used to be. So I got a magic top to go with it and a belt to go with it. And as soon as I got it and I opened up the package, I don't want to sound dramatic, but it was definitely like the first time that I felt good wearing something in a long time. Because when
Wow.
you go into the dressing room, you're trying on all these clothes, and when one after another looks horrible on you, you're so discouraged you don't even want to wear clothes anymore.
Mm.
So it was definitely one of those things where it's like, hey, I do look good, and this dress is beautiful, and I can go to this baptism and feel great about myself and celebrate this milestone with my baby and family. And it was wonderful. And now I'm hooked. Now I'm just like everything in my rotation, obviously, is Tracy Gold.
That's amazing. So, Jessica, at this point, you still were struggling. I mean, and I can say this because you told me you were still struggling with your postpartum weight. Is that correct? So even,
Yes.
you bought your first piece. I remember how excited and how nervous you were for your first piece. And I remember when you got it and the messages that I got from you and how excited you were. You were like, "Oh my goodness, I've never felt so good." So take us down the road of that because you've gone through quite a lot of different iterations of that since then.
Absolutely. And any mom here can definitely relate, right? Like, especially for me, I was trying to breastfeed, I was going back to work. So my body was changing a lot. So I was eating a
Mm,
lot more calories because I was breastfeeding, but I was getting less rest because I was breastfeeding, right? So your body adjusts through all of that, nurturing a child, nurturing yourself, and eating all these foods. And for me, it was eating. It was almost like society telling you, like, you can't eat all these foods, right? Like, you're breastfeeding, eat all these foods, right? And so when I started weaning off of breastfeeding, my eating habits didn't change with that. Like, I was still eating the same amount of calories. So if you look at my trajectory, I had the baby, and then I started losing some weight and I felt really good, right? But then I stopped breastfeeding and I started gaining the weight back, right? And then I started adjusting my diet. And because I had clothes that can move with me, grow with me, adjust with me, I didn't feel like I had to hide everything, right? Like, I have these wonderful wrap dresses that I can throw on, and there's so much wrap to them that if I do have a little bit of a belly, that's okay, right? Because that's why we have the adjustment. Or the A-line dresses, right? I can slip that on, and if I'm feeling really good about myself, I'll put a belt on. But if I'm not, hey, guess what? No belt, and I still feel great and fabulous. And so, because I was feeling good about myself, because I was, able to wear clothes that I wasn't consciously saying I'm wearing this because I feel bloated or I feel, I, almost subconsciously making better self. I wasn't reaching for the candy bars, like, kid you not, I used to have all day, right? I don't do that anymore, right? Or a meeting, like, all of these things, because I'm feeling good about myself. And now the weight is coming off, and I didn't even realize it. Honestly, I didn't realize it until I went to the doctor, and I was like, oh yeah, I did lose some weight.
Wow. So, Jessica, there's so much in what you've just said because, first of all, you got onto a cycle of what I call a cycle of self-love, right? So, what often happens, and this is, clothing has such power in our lives, and sometimes I don't think we realize as women how much power it has. So, would you go to your closet and look in your closet and then say, "Oh, I'm too fat to wear that"? I'm talking about pre having these clothes that adjust to your body. Would you have like a ton of clothes that you couldn't wear, and every time you go and look at them, you realize you can't wear them?
Absolutely. I mean, when I first had my baby, I was thinking, I'm going to keep my skinny section, right? Like, you got your
Your
skinny
skinny
section in your
section.
closet, and you're like, man, when I get really skinny and feel good about myself, like, I'll have that dress or I'll have that pair of jeans ready to go. And then it just became this thing that taunted you, right? Because you need your
Mm,
body to heal. Like, you can't rush the process in which your body needs to heal. Like, some people are very different. Like, my best friend had a baby and she bounced back. She looked like a supermodel before, like, the baby was even 3 months, right?
wow.
I was a little different, right? And so it's taking me a little bit longer. I think for me, the taunting of having those clothes really, before I started wearing your clothes, almost encouraged me to continue my unhealthy habits, because in my mind I was thinking, I'm never going to fit in these clothes again. What's the point of trying? Because
Ah.
so then you continue those ugly habits, right? Because you don't love yourself, you don't appreciate yourself for who you are, versus having clothes in your closet that you're excited to wear, right? Like, I open my closet and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to wear today? Like, I've
Mm.
got meetings, I got to look professional, or I've got meetings with younger folks, like, I want to look hip and fun, right? Like, I have all of those options now, and I don't think about that guilty side of what's the point, because there is no what's the point. The point is that I feel good and I can wear these clothes and feel good no matter what.
So what I'm hearing, Jessica, is if we were to look at the before, so the before, you'd look into your closet and say, "Oh, I'm too fat to wear that," And I find it interesting because we keep those things that's almost like the graveyard of our lives is our closet, right? So it's like you're
Yes.
looking into the graveyard and going, "Oh, if only I was that, and now I'm too fat to wear that." And then that starts a cycle of dislike and like, "Oh, well, what's the point? Let me just have another piece of cake, or let me sit and watch Netflix as opposed to going for a walk." And then the polar opposite of that is where you have clothes that really support your body, that celebrate your body as it is now. And then what happens is a cycle of self-love. And it's like, oh, well, I don't actually need another piece of cake. And oh, let me go for a walk rather than sitting on the couch. And it started
Mm-hmm.
that cycle of self-love. And before you knew it, without even really being that aware of it, you go to the doctor and the doctor says, weighs you, and you're like, oh, wow, I have lost weight. So, what did that feel like for you, Jess?
I mean, it felt incredible because I was unconsciously making the decisions of like, one of the things that my doctor said to me, which was obviously you had lost weight, but it really stuck to me was it's not about what's on the scale, it's about how the clothes fit you, right? Like how your clothes
Mm,
fit is much different than what's on the scale. And what I took from that was I'm wearing the same clothes, but they're changing with me. Like they look better as I'm making these conscious or unconscious decisions. And it makes me want to keep going, right? Like, of
mm.
course I want the cake. Everyone wants the cake. Come on, let's be real. But
Yes, bring
hey, you
on the
know what?
cake.
Like, exactly. Like, but I'll have the cake on Friday. I don't need it on a
Mm,
Tuesday. And instead, I'm going to make a healthy decision. It's going to make me feel much better about myself, and I'll continue seeing my body change in a positive way, without having to like it didn't feel like I was having to diet, or like I didn't have to like
wow.
go hit the gym every day, right? Like I'm working out, I'm more active, I'm making healthier decisions, but it's not like a punishment, right? Like this is just a a great byproduct of the decisions that I make because of how the clothes make me feel.
Mm. So that's important as well, though, because we're not saying that you wore the clothes and then suddenly, and you did nothing different and suddenly you lost the weight. So we're not saying that. This isn't like I hate what I really struggle with in our society, Jessica, are the messages that we receive as women that we must, first of all, get our bodies back after giving birth and creating a life. Like, I just don't understand that, first of all. Second of all, this thing of, you must be skinny to be attractive. You must be a certain size. You must be a certain measurement. You must be all these things. And what I love about what you're saying is that the clothes made you feel so good that it facilitates you making better choices. So it's not that you're saying, oh, the clothes are going to suddenly make you drop 5 pounds, although wearing the right clothes can make you look like you've dropped the 5 pounds. I mean, we've had that discussion and we've seen that to be true. But it's really around how it makes you feel. And because it makes you feel positive and good about yourself, it's easier to make those choices. Am I summing it up correctly?
Absolutely, definitely. And
Mm,
I'll give you another really great example. Like I have notoriously always, so a little backstory, and this is probably TMI. I had actually been trying to get pregnant for a long time. So we
mm,
were unsuccessful for a good year and a half of trying to have a baby. But in those times I was pregnant, so my body was already changing, right? I was already like, gaining weight, but then I had a miscarriage, and same thing, right? So it was, a whole 2 years of trauma on my body. So
mm.
I was notoriously wearing baggy sweaters, baggy shirts, those trapeze dresses with no belt, right? Like I was already putting out into the universe that I had no shape, because what shape was I trying to promote,
Mm,
right? So by changing into clothes that gave me shape, right? Like your clothes give women
yes.
shape, it almost is like a magic trick to your brain, right? Like I had been training myself to think that I had no shape, but hey, guess what? You do have a shape, and it actually looks pretty good in these clothes. And if you keep trying and making these great decisions, it's only going to look better. That's certainly encouraging for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, Jess, one of the things I want to explore with you, because one of the objections that I hear, and listen, I've been styling women and designing for women for over 20 years. And often I would meet women and they'll say, when I lose the weight, then I'll come to you.
Mm,
And I always kind of struggle with what to say to them, because what I have realized is exactly what you're saying, is that when you meet yourself at the place that you're at, it's it's actually easier to lose the weight. And what I'm also hearing you say is that the clothes that you have purchased from me, they do what they are designed to do, which is to adapt to your body as it changes. So, what made you decide? Because at first you came because Ava, your daughter, was having her baptism. So clearly that was a special occasion and you wanted to look good for that. But it continued, right? So, what made you decide to keep investing in clothing even though you planned to lose weight?
well, one was the adjustability, right? Well, let me start off by saying it was really building trust. So trusting you
Mm,
as a designer, my friends at this point, right? Like I felt like you had my best interest at heart. If I have some crazy idea, you would tell me like, Jessica, that's crazy. We're not going to do that outfit. It's not going to work. Like
mm,
I had built that trust with you. So first and
yes.
foremost, I think it's trust, right?
Mm,
And then it's the adjustability. Like, so for example, this was one of the first wrap dresses that I bought, and I was quite wider when I bought this dress. And now I'm wearing it. I've lost weight and it fits great. Now I'm wearing a belt with it. And it looks great, right? Like I feel like this is still going to fit me, even if I were to lose another 10 pounds, right? Like I would still be able to wear this. And that's why we have the adjustability in the dresses, even with your A-line dresses as well, right? Because you have the adjustability, you have the shape here. So it's not like you're buying something from a store and you order a size medium and you're like, man, I really need a size small, right? But there's no
mm,
adjustability. It's just one block. That's what I loved really mostly about your clothes, is just being able to see that adjustability with my changing body. And this is my personal story.
yes.
um, I don't know if I answered
Yes.
your question.
Yes, it exactly answers my question, because what I'm hearing you say is that because you knew, and I think this is the important part, because my question was really around, when women say, well, I'm going to wait to lose weight and then I'll come to you. The cool
Mhm.
thing is that this collection has really come from my desire to give women clothes that will always fit,
Right.
regardless of what's going on in their bodies, and actually facilitate them feeling fabulous even when they are losing the weight. And if
Mhm.
they do gain some weight, that's also okay. Because let's be honest, as women, we fluctuate all the time and we have hormones
Mhm.
to deal with. We have busy lives. Sometimes there are stages in our lives where it's hard to take great care of ourselves. I mean, let's be
Mhm.
honest about that. It's all very well to
Yeah.
say we need to care for ourselves, and we know that to be true. But sometimes there's just only so many hours in a day, right? And for me, it was just, well, how can I design things that will always make her feel fabulous and always fit
Yeah.
her? And so what's really great
Yeah.
for me to hear is that you are experiencing that, right? So even as you have lost weight, we've had these conversations because we got on a call and we're like, okay, I've lost weight. Now what? And we actually kept things as is with maybe a tweak here and there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it means that your investment has not been lost. You now don't have to go buy a whole new wardrobe.
Absolutely. And one piece of advice that I would give anyone on the phone or on this call that's like, "Ooh, what should I wait? Like, I can't wait till I lose the weight and I'm gonna get that top that Tracy's wearing right now because it's so fab." I will tell you that the I will wait mentality will keep you in that waiting area. It's just
Mm,
like keeping the graveyard of your skinny clothes in your closet, right? Like, I can't wait until I fit into those clothes again. It's not going to happen if you keep that
mm,
mindset of the future me is going to fit into this, right? Like, why not feel good about yourself now?
mm,
You're it's part of your journey, it's part of who you are. Like, I don't look back at pictures of myself and think, man, that's terrible. What was I thinking? I mean, maybe the sweaters that I was wearing, possibly, but it's a learning experience, right?
yeah.
I went through it. I made a beautiful baby. I was going through changes. I found clothes that fit. I feel great, and this was part of my journey. And to me, it was a great investment. I mean, I
Yeah.
will tell you, this is one of the things where your clothes are on my rotation. I know they're going to fit. I don't have to worry about them fitting, right? Like, I just know that I'm going to have an outfit to wear every day, whether it's professionally, going to the park with Ava, going to a family function. Like, I have something and I don't have to stress about it.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so now I want to talk about the sticky topic of the price point, because some of the feedback I've had is like, your clothes are expensive, and my dresses are $380, 350 to 380. They are ethically made here in the US, but they are an investment. And so how have you found that to be worth it for you, Jessica?
Well, my old shopping habits weren't great. So I'm sure a lot of women can empathize with me. I was buying a ton of junk. Like, let's just call it
Mm,
that. Like, oh, I bought this on sale, or look, I got a 2 for 1 special. Oh, I got this like on an auction, right? Like, I was buying a bunch of clothes hoping that they were going to fit, right? Because they were
mm,
so cheap. And I never wore them, like I still have a bunch of stuff in the closet that has tags on it that I've never
wow.
worn because I've tried it on. There's no return policy, or I wash it and it shrinks.
Mm,
They're not well made. So for me, it was, yes, an investment. Let's not lie about it. It is an investment, but it's a good investment. I will
mm,
tell you that. And that's why I'm addicted, right? You are getting a unique piece of clothing that is tailored to your body. So, like, this is a medium large wrap dress, but we've made adjustments to the length, we've made adjustments to the sleeve to fit me. We've made adjustments to many of my other items that I've purchased through Tracy. And I know that they're ethically made. I feel really great about it.
mm.
And they're made for me. I'm a 5 foot tall woman. I have to tailor and alter every single pair of pants I buy, every long dress I get. Those all add up, right? That's all pricing. And it takes time out of your day.
Mm.
I have built that relationship with you. I trust you and I know where my money's going, right? It's going to clothes that were specifically made for you. And I think that that goes a long way for sure.
Yeah, Jessica, what you said about that alteration fee, I think sometimes as women, there's a disconnect. We buy something in the store and then we look at the price tag and we think we're paying, say, $250 or $200, or even sometimes you get it on sale. Maybe you get it like as a special, you get it for $70. When you take it to the tailor, I mean, on average, how much was the tailoring costing you per item?
I mean, back in the day before Tracy, before inflation, it was probably around, pair of pants, $35, for a nice dress, probably between 50 and $60. That's not
Hmm.
it's not cheap to do that, and it all adds up. And that's just to hem, like if I wanted to take the
Just to
sleeves up
just
or
to
if I wanted to do
him.
something here.
Wow. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
just to him. So that's not, so just to give you the context, Jessica's 5 foot tall. So when I create something for Jessica, when we do a dress for her, the hem gets shortened, but everything else is also like other things are also adjusted, right? So as an example, if I shorten the sleeve, which I do, I don't shorten it the same percentage as the length because it's different, right? We have sometimes we're not always the same on the top as we are on the bottom. And then also the sleeve needs to narrow a little bit because otherwise, if you just cut the length off, then it sits here and it's wide. So there are a whole bunch of other things. And I know, Jessica, also with your jumpsuits, we change the rise of the jumpsuit. There's like a whole bunch of things that we adjust to and then
Yeah,
also
yeah,
you have the
absolutely. And what's
ability.
great about your
Yeah,
clothes is that you have all those notes. You have
yes,
all those notes about me. So right? I don't have to worry about it.
yes, yes. And then also, Jess, you get to choose your fabric. So what often happens, and I love this, I'll often get a text from Jessica and she go, okay, that fabric, can that be in this kind of style? So you get to choose. So in a sense, you actually get to design your own closet because you're choosing the fabric that you like and you're
Right.
choosing the style that you like. And if it can't do it, or if
Exactly.
I'm nervous about it, I'll tell you, as you've said before. Like, I'll be straight with you and say, oh no, I don't think so, or I don't think that style is going to work for you, or I don't think the fabric's going to do the same thing. And that's the other thing, is that when you take clothes to be altered, sometimes you don't know how it's going to turn out, right? You take you shorten the hem and the whole shape is changed. The whole shape of the garment has changed. And so these are things that we often
Right.
don't know. So you could sometimes invest in some pieces and then you go and alter them and you can't wear them because they're a disaster zone. And that's if you have a good alteration person. That's another thing. So yeah, I think that's important. So is there anything else, Jess? What would you recommend? So if women are on this journey, and I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story because it's very powerful, right? And I I love having community. This is why I do these lives as well, because I want us as women to realize that we're not alone in this process. Whoops, I lost her. So we're not we'll just see if she can come back in. We're not alone in this process. Like many of us feel the same kind of feelings. Many of us go through similar experiences. Sometimes we're at different stages of our lives, right? So you may be going through menopause and your body's changing. You're not necessarily having postpartum weight that you're wanting to get rid of. And so I think the amazing thing about having women come and tell their stories is that you can realize that it isn't just you and that we all have those kinds of experiences. So let me know. Hey, Ellen, so good to see you in the chat. I was just, as we go through, let me know who you are. It would be wonderful to see in the chat. Say hi. If Jessica can come back in, that will be great. If not, we'll continue anyway, but I'm hoping that she will be able to. Let us also know if there are any questions that you have for Jessica specifically, and then any questions that you have for me. So once we'll see whether Jessica can come back in. But what I would also love to do is I'm going to go through some of the essential pieces and the pieces that Jessica has found really helpful for her in her process. And I'll show you some of the various different options. And it's really fun. And by the way, what I'm also going to do is just share this with you. So oh, sorry, hold on. Let me just a second. Let me just show that. Okay, so that is a QR code for the fall collection, my fall collection. So if you would like to use that QR code, feel free to do so. So a lot of the pieces, okay, so Jessica says she froze, but she's trying to rejoin. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is just send you this link as well. So that comes into the chat. So either you can use the QR code if you're working with two different devices, and if you're not, you can just click on the link in the chat there, and that will take you directly to the latest collection page. Feel free to look around there, and girlfriends, feel free to reach out to me because I am not about just a quick sale. I mean, if you want to purchase something, you're more than welcome to purchase off my website. We try and make it as easy flow and as easy for you to create, to navigate as possible. But if you're needing some advice, if you're needing a call, to schedule a call, feel free to do so. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'm very, very happy. Oh, she's back in. Okay. Oh, Jess, thank you for letting me know. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was on a different screen. Yay! The
Okay,
joy of
sorry.
technology, right? So when I lost you, Jessica, you were saying, I wanted to ask, what is your advice to women who are going through a similar process or in a process of going through that body change? And how would you suggest that they go forward, that they move
Uh,
forward?
with purchasing your clothes or just in general?
Yeah, like if they, well, I'd love to hear in general. I'd love to hear in general. And then if they are in a place where they're like, okay, I want to kind of explore this, right? We're not doing hard sales. I don't believe in that. But if they're wanting to just kind of gently explore, what would that look like for them?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is something here that is magical in the sense that you're part of the design process, right? Like Tracy would never put you in something that you won't feel comfortable in, period.
Mm,
Like, that's just not, I mean, she even said so herself. It's not about the hard sale, it's not about selling the collection as is. It's very customizable, and to your personality, right? So, and the one thing too is just trust the process. Ask a bunch of questions.
mm,
I'm one of those clients that if I'm going to make an investment, I'm going to probably ask 1,000,000,001 questions.
yes.
Because I want to feel good about the investment that I'm making. And I will tell you, of all of the pieces that I have from her collection, not one do I regret. Like
Mm,
it's just adding to the collection that I'm going to wear for a long, long time. So just trust the process, get to know Tracy, reach out to her, ask a ton of questions. There's a really amazing community out here. I mean, you can reach out to me if you have questions about what that relationship looks like. A lot of women on this channel are amazing. You can reach out to them as well. But just have fun with the process is what I would recommend, and have fun with your body changing. Like how
yes.
cool is it that your body is even changing? Like it means you're alive.
Yes, yes. And you know what? I loved what you said, Jessica, as well, is celebrating. You brought this beautiful little Ava into your world, and how beautiful that is. And this clothing allows you to just celebrate yourself as you are, as opposed to feeling like you're just not good enough, right? I just that breaks my heart when women feel that way. It really does.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm,
I mean, you have wonderful, beautiful bodies. I feel that about every single person. And so, be your own cheerleader. I think that,
mm.
have fun with your fashion, have fun with the choices that you make, have fun with the prints, wear some prints.
Yes, yes, yes. So Ellen's asked a question. She said, "Can you share a bit about how you size for each client? You mentioned changing links for Jessica." Sure, Ellen, that's a great question, and I'm going to share how I do it, and then I'm going to let Jessica share about what her experience has been of that. So when I'm talking to somebody, the first question, there are two questions that I'm always going to ask. First is what is your dress size? Like what average dress size are you wearing at the moment? Okay, so if you are, let's say for Jessica, she's a medium large, then I would say, okay, so are you, and I'm talking like, so if you are a 4'6", you're in my small medium. If you're an 8'10", you're my medium large. And if you're my 12'14", you're a large to extra large. And then 16 to 18 is my extra large to XXL. So we go from extra small, and that's zero to 2, to XXL. So we do quite a nice spectrum of sizes. So then I would ask a little bit more detail. I'd say, okay, so are you more medium or are you more large? Like, are you going more to medium small or are you more large, extra large? Because that every brand is different, fabrication is different. And so I always want to be very respectful around sizing because we're emotional about it, right? We're very emotional about it. Then, hey, Lindsay, so good to have you here. Yay. Then I want to know about your height. So, and this is always such an important thing because, if you are 5 foot tall versus, so I'm 5'3.5", and so I always share that with women so that they have a perspective of how tall I am. So, Ellen, for example, for you, you're taller, but then I want to know, how do you feel about your legs? Are you okay with showing your legs? How do you feel about your body? And then, Ellen, there's like this thing that happens for me, and I know that it sounds really weird, but I'm just gonna say it. I sense things about women. I can't, I can't explain it, but I just do sense things. And so I work a lot with my intuition when I'm cutting. And just so that I cut the garments that are customized because I know the patterns. I've had the conversations with you. I don't yet have somebody that I trust to the level to cut for me. So that is how I do it. And then I always, if I'm on the fence about something being a little too short or too long, I'd rather go a little long, and you can always send it back and we'd make some alterations because I'd rather that. And then it gets put into your profile and I know what I've done from before. So Jess, would you like to share about what that process has been like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you definitely were the Jess whisperer with my sizing.
The Jess whisperer.
Uh,
I love that.
So it was definitely one of those things where you asked me a question. I was like, you know what? I actually don't know. Like, I think I have broad shoulders. You were asking me about, questions that didn't really feel like you were asking or interrogating about how my body, right? It was more of like, let me get to know your sizing. What are you comfortable with? What kind of sizes do you wear currently? I will tell you, the jumpsuit was tricky. So for anybody on this call, the jumpsuit is amazing. I love my jumpsuit. I wear it like once a week to the park with Ava. It's like my mommy and me. Like, and she's got a matching headband with it too. So I love my jumpsuit. But it took a while to get that right. I had to send it back just to get it tweaked a little bit, shortened, fix the rise, fix the shoulders, I think a little bit. But Tracy was open to doing that. It's just about communicating. And I felt in really good hands, right? Like if there's anything that comes and I'm like, ooh, that doesn't feel right or it looks a little off, or all I do is I just message Tracy and I say, hey, let me send you a picture of what it looks like on me. Like, what would you suggest? And she's willing and always available to help answer those questions or even suggest having you send it back so she can fix it.
Yes. Yes, and the jumpsuit, Jessica, was a tricky one, and we did multiple iterations of it, and you were one of the first to jump in with me on that one for petites. And now what's so cool is that we've got the pattern sorted out. So we know, like, oh, okay, this is what happens when a woman is 5 foot, because I have quite a few 5 foot clients. So I have markings on the pattern, like here's for petite, here's for, and that's the thing, that having something like that altered with somebody after the fact would cost a lot of money. And so when you've invested in a jumpsuit, it comes with all those changes. And if we need to do them again, that's how it is, right? That's how it is. The other thing, Ellen, that I wanted to say is that, and I know that I had this discussion with you around the things that you ordered as well, is that I'm more interested in how a woman's body is shaped than her size. Because if I create, and I know this as a stylist, so I've taken women shopping and we've tried lots of different sizes. And you know how sometimes when you try something on, and Jessica, you alluded to this as well, you try a style on and it doesn't fit, you size up and it still doesn't look good, or you size down and it still doesn't look good. If the shape is not right, doesn't matter what size you get, it's not going to make the difference. So the shape needs to be right. And that's how I alter things, and it's just helpful because it gives me a mental picture with what sense of from here. So does that answer your question, Ellen? It would be great to hear if you have any other questions. Does anybody else have any other questions? That was a great one. Thank you so much for that. Are there any other questions for Jessica or for me? Okay, sometimes there is a delay. So, this has been amazing. Jessica, thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate how transparent you've been, how real you've been with what this process has meant to you and continues to mean to you. And I really, really am very grateful, incredibly
Oh,
grateful,
thanks.
girlfriend.
Thanks so much, Tracy. And I know Tracy's not into hard sales, but I promise you, as an obsessed, like, number one Tracy fan, you will not regret purchasing something from her collection. And even if it's just a belt, even if you just get a belt today and try the belt, I mean, I will tell you, I wear her belts with everything. So, just take a leap, have fun with it. And if you ever have any questions, I mean, I will tell you, Tracy's like on my speed dial. So.
Yes. Jessica, you absolutely are right about that. Tracy's on my speed dial. So I think that, and that's the thing, because for me, Jess, it's not about a quick sale. It's about a relationship, right? And so for me, it's really around making sure that you feel fabulous in your clothes, that there is somebody. There's nothing worse when you buy something and there's just no support, right? There's no one to ask questions. I hate that. I really can't stand that. And so because the way that I work is so intimate, it needs to be followed up with that kind of, But listen, if you want to just buy something and not have a communication with me, that's okay too. Not everybody wants that long kind of thing, and that's why we've actually, and it was recent, it was great that we've really been working on our website to make it really very easy for you to navigate and be able to purchase some items and choose your length and that kind of thing. So feel free to do that as well. Well, Jess, thank you so much for joining us. What we're going to do is I'm going to let Jessica go because I know she has other things to do, and then we're going to go through some of the basic pieces that Jessica has mentioned have been really important. So Jess, do you want to just give us a quick snapshot of what you would say are the core basics that every woman who is going through body changes should have or should consider?
I think for sure, wrap dress.
Okay.
I would say that's been the one that has changed with me, grown with me. Get a wrap dress for sure. The coords are great because you can mix and match them. I actually just purchased my second one.
Yes.
But you can mix and match them. You can wear them with pants in just the top, or a dress in the top, or the bottoms with something. It's very versatile, and it feels like you have like a million outfits in one. So definitely cord's a good investment. And then lastly, I would say, for a smaller item, definitely a belt. Like I said, I would get a belt. If you've got lots of navies in your closets, she's got a great navy one, or a brown snake one would be a good one. If you've got a lot of black, she's got a lot of black, really awesome black options. So And it's just fun, to add some shape to some of the outfits that you already have in your closet. So
Yes.
those would be like the three like basics. Everyone should have them in your closet. Go out and get one.
Okay. So the wrap dress, the belt, and a cohort, right? Okay, cool. Well, we will deal with those things tonight. And so thank you, Jess, so much. I really, really appreciate you being here. And thank you for the questions as well. So thanks, Jessica. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, so girlfriends, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up now. Thank you so much for staying with me. And by the way, if you are new to my channel, feel free to subscribe and to also get onto my mailing list, Tracy Gold New York, because that's where I keep you up to date with all the shows. I'm actually going to push this a little bit further back so that you can see me full length. Sorry, I know that that's a little bit jumpy, but that's how it goes, right? Okay. So girls, we're going to talk about the pieces that Jessica specifically mentioned. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show them to you. I'm going to put the link on the screen. Let me just see if I have that. Yes, it should actually work. Okay, so I'm going to do the geometric. In fact, the dress that Jessica was wearing, I'm going to show you that exact one. So let me just see, does this show? Oh. Whoops, the connection was lost. Okay, let me just go back in. Hold on, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it from here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that's where it is. I'll just go out of that. That's fine. Okay, great. Can you hear me clearly? All right, so this is the wrap dress that Jessica was speaking about, and it actually comes in 2 different lengths. It comes in multiple different fabrics, so you don't have to just stick with 2 fabric options, but these are 2 that are available right now. So I have this beautiful geometric print. I'm actually going to turn this up a little bit so that you can see clearer. So this is a little small geometric print, and then this is the one that Jessica was wearing. I'm going to put one of these on, and then we're going to talk through them and show you the multiple different ways that you can wear them. That's the other thing about this collection, is that it's made to be incredibly versatile. So yes, it works with your body changes, but it also can be worn in multiple different ways. Okay, so I've got a body stocking on underneath, so you don't have to worry about me flashing. And I am going to start showing you. Now, I do have jeans on, so just bear that in mind, but it's just for ease's sake. Okay, so this is the one that Jessica was talking about. And if you want other fabric options, if you're not crazy about this particular print, please feel free to reach out. I am so happy to assist you. You can actually go to the order page and click on the order page, and you can send me some details through there. And my contact details are also not my mobile phone, but my email address is on my website, info@tracygoldnewyork.com. So feel free to reach out. I'm very happy to help you. Okay, so this is the classic wrap dress. Now, Jessica specifically, and I know she was very nervous about a wrap dress. It took her quite a while to purchase a wrap dress from me. And the reason is because every time she tried a wrap dress, it didn't work for her. She didn't like it. It didn't fit her properly. And also being a petite woman, it really, really didn't work for her. So let me just put it on the comments so that I can see. All right. But this particular one really works like a charm. And the reason being is because I've designed it so that it has a lot of wrap to it. So all of my wrap dresses, whether it's a knit wrap dress, and I have a woven wrap dress as well, I'll show you, whether it's a knit wrap dress or a woven wrap dress, there is a lot of wrap to it. So you may have tried on wrap dresses before and you get this kind of effect, right? This is something you probably know well. I'm actually just going to hide this so that you can see me clearly. Let me just let me hide that. Okay, there we go. And sorry, girlfriends, I'm having to just manage the show from multiple different perspectives, right? So most times you're going to find that it does this, but what you want is you want a wrap dress that's going to give you a lot of wrap around. It's going to give you that coverage. It's very important because if you are busty, you're going to need that little bit extra, right? If you aren't, that's also okay. Like, I'm not busty. In fact, I'm doing a live on Saturday on what to wear when you're busty and you want to make your bust look smaller. And I have to put on like 3 padded bras on top of one another. So make sure to come to that. It's going to be 12 p.m. We're going to have a good laugh. Girls, I'm always about having a good laugh. We need to just laugh about ourselves and not take ourselves so seriously. So I take myself, I really don't take myself seriously, and I laugh at myself all the time. So you don't have to worry about feeling foolish because I'll just make the fool out of myself, right? Okay, so this has got a lot of wrap here. It also has a lot of wrap in the actual dress of it. So it's going to give you that coverage. And then what's very important is you want to make sure that you have a lot of flare, because the flare is going to is going to balance your curves. If you have it narrowed like this, what happens is that it makes this part wider. That's what happens. It makes this the emphasis. So the flare itself actually balances everything to the top because this is wider at the bottom. Okay. Now this particular one has got a flared 3/4 sleeve, and you can have it as a flared 3/4 sleeve. Again, that option is on the website. You can buy this exact dress and you can choose the length. You can choose the length between this one or this one, that is on the website. But if you want to further customize, if you are 5 foot tall, if you're maybe taller and you want something further customized, feel free to reach out. I really will answer. It comes directly to me. So info@tracygoldnewyork.com. In fact, I will put it in the chat. Let me just see if I can get onto here. Let me just put that into the chat. Because I'm very passionate about it. Okay, so cancel. Let me just make sure I'm not. Okay, cancel. That's great. Okay, so then I can manage the chats from here. So you can contact me here at info@tracygoldnewyork.com. Okay, and feel free to send me all the details of what you like, what sizes you're wearing, what questions you have, and we can also schedule a call to discuss it. I'm happy to do that. Okay, so this is an option. Now this length, I'm 5'3.5", so it'll give you perspective. This length comes to just there above your knee, and then it goes to longer, kind of mid calf at 5'3". For Jessica, we definitely take this up and make it shorter, no doubt. Okay, now let me show you the other knit one, the longer one, and then I'll show you the variation. But the cool thing about this is that you can wear it multiple different ways. So you can wear it as a wrap dress. You can also wear it as a duster. So you just tie these, and I'll show you up close to the camera so that you're not confused. And you do this. And I mean, these wrap dresses go at least 3, sometimes 4 different ways. It's quite amazing. Okay, so you just tie it like that, and then you pop it on. Do you see what I mean? Look at how fabulous this is. So now this is giving you a completely different look. So you can wear it with jeans and just a top. You can wear it with a whole, you could wear just a t-shirt on underneath and a funky sneaker. In fact, let me put my shoes on, girlfriends, because I like a little bit of height. Thank you very much. So let me put my my platforms on. I love my shoes. You'll all know me for my crazy platform shoes, but they just give me that extra height. I love them. Okay, so here we go. That's gonna look much better. And they're super comfortable. I don't do uncomfortable high heel shoes, girls. All right, so this is going to give you that really funky look for the weekend, casual look, really easy. What you can also do is you can then pull it to the front and you can put on a belt. And this is the fun thing, right? Is that you have, look at how amazing this belt, this is what Jessica's talking about, is the belt. The belt is powerful, girlfriends. It works like magic. It is called a magic belt for the reason. Okay, and now you can see, look at how fab that is. So now this gives you a completely different look. You could also wear it with the wear it underdress underneath, which that I can show you a little bit later, or you can take a look at inside the store, because there are multiple different ways that you can wear that. Now, the same thing is true with the longer dress. So you may want to choose, and sometimes you may want one long and one shorter dress. It's up to you how you feel about it. But the length is the triangle hem allows for it not to be the perfect length. Because what often happens is if a dress sits at the wrong place and it's a straight hem, it can either make you look fuddy-duddy or it can make you look amazing. Okay, one of the two. So to avoid that, what we do is we do the triangle hem, and then that works like a charm. So this is it worn as a duster. Okay, this is it worn as a duster. La la la. And then this is it worn as a dress. And so again, you can layer it, you can put your leggings. This is the great thing as well, is that these are pretty much all season styles that you can wear for most of the year. I mean, when it gets really hot, I would say maybe the sleeve is a little hotter. I have some other ones that are more breathable fabrics that will be really fantastic. So let me show you this one. Okay, so tying it here. Okay. And again, you'll notice that the tie goes high up, right? And the reason for that is that most of the wrap dresses that I've tried, the tie comes in way too low. So that by the time you're wrapping it, it's wrapping it here versus up here. Okay, what we want is we want to go almost above and into our natural waist, because what that does is it creates the illusion of having an hourglass shape. Girls, I do not have an hourglass shape. I am very straight up and down. I hardly have any waist definition. And so what this does is this allows me to create that illusion, and you can do it too. You can do it too. All right, so let me show you some of the other, I'm going to show you very quickly the woven wrap dress, and this is the other one that she was talking about. So Jessica has a combination of woven and stretch wrap dresses. They just feel very different, and they kind of have they kind of feel like they have a different purpose in a way. So this is one of my absolute favorites. This is my Italian one. I love this one, girls. I love this one. This is the one that I made like 45 minutes before leaving to go to Rome. Literally, the fabric arrived. I was like, what on earth? Okay, so let me get this one to you. Here we go. And this is this piece here. Now, you will notice this is the other thing that I always do, is that I cut the pattern and I choose prints that are going to draw the eye down the body. You will notice that all these lines are going down the body. So in some cases, there have been fabrics where the print actually goes across, and I cut it differently. I actually cut it differently. So I'll show you an example. Now, this is already sold out. This fabric is already sold out. That's the other thing, is that the fabrics are very exclusive. So I often just have like enough for 2 or 3 dresses, sometimes 4. I don't have a huge amount. So this is how it came. And I was like, oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. We have to do it this way. And can you see now, because it draws the eye down the body. Now, with this particular one, this already came this way. But this one didn't. This one is also, it's got, if you look at the pattern, it's quite a bold pattern, which is very important to have it going down the body. It had this line, these lines going across. And I was like, oh no, I can't have that. It needs to go down. And so we cut it. So we break a lot of rules, but it works. It really works. Okay, so this is how you could wear it just as a duster. And then you could also wear it. And by the way, you could have this in a shorter length if you want it. That's also fine. And again, you can take a look at the options. So let me just take this off here quickly, and I'll show you what it looks like in real. This was an amazing piece for me in Rome. It was super hot when I went. And it's so breathable and it's easy. And I wore it several different ways. And one of the things as well is that these fabrics are crease resistant. So when you put them in your suitcase, you are going to find when you pull them out, they're going to look a little crumpled. Okay. But once you hang them on the hanger for a few hours, the creases are gone. It's incredible. I have tried and tested it several times. All right. So this is the one. Ta-da, ta-da! And it is available. Okay. It is available in this fabric. So I only have enough for one more dress actually in this one. This one is a small medium, so that can be sold. And then this one here, this is a denim. This actually looks like denim, but it's actually not denim. So it looks like denim, but it's just a denim print. Now this is a shorter one, but you can get it in long if you prefer. The other way that you can wear this, and this is a really fun way, and I'll show it to you in a second. And by the way, girlfriends, when you go onto my website, you can click on any of the items and there are videos in there that actually explain the item in detail. So that also is there to help you. So look at how you can twist this, twist, and then tie it. Okay, so now you're creating a shorter length. You're creating something that is shorter, that is a little bit more sassy, a little bit more fun. I mean, not that the longer isn't fun, but it just gives you so many different options. And then what you want to do is just maneuver this so that you don't see the reverse of the fabric. You still have that beautiful fit, that print right there. Okay, so this is the other one. And then what was the other thing that she was mentioning was the cord. Okay, so the cord, that one's a little tricky. And in fact, I'm going to be doing the cord next week. Let me just think of the schedule. It's next Saturday. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. But let me show you. So I'm going to take 2 pieces and see if I can create 10 outfits with them. 10 outfits out of 2 pieces. I'm not going to prep it, girls. I want to see if I can do it. I've done some crazy things before, but this one is a really crazy. Okay, so the cohort that she's talking about, now she's had different cohorts, but I will show you. And in fact, there is a cohort that you can have. So this fabric here, what she was referring to, is that this fabric we're doing in a cohort. So we're doing a wrap skirt and a top. So you can wear them as separates. And so this is the cohort. I don't have the sample with me yet. So this is the cohort that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a top like this, but shorter, okay, straight across, and then a wrap skirt. And we're going to try that and see if we can do like 10, if I can do 10 different outfits. So join me for that. Make sure to subscribe to my newsletter, girls. So go onto tracygoldnewyork.com. And by the way, if you subscribe to the newsletter, you also get to enter into a personal styling session with me. It's an hour and a half session and it's worth $400. So now let me just say to you that when I'm working with you with my clothing and we have a call, I don't charge you for that. Right? But a personal styling session is separate. It's a different thing. It's not about the clothes, it's not about my collection. It's about you. It's about you helping you find your personal style, knowing what you need to buy, what are the pieces that you need in your closet. So that's the difference. Okay, so I'm going to show you this cohort. So this cohort is a really fun piece. So this is the magic blouse. And this is made out of, I'm going to show it to you. It's got this, it's a double knit fabric. It's super, super soft. It's excruciatingly, divinely soft and beautiful. And it's called, I actually called it hold on, let me see if I can get it up here. Let me get it, see if I can get it up here. I called it the Not Your Sweatpants Not Your Sweatpants cohort. So they don't look like sweatpants, but they feel comfortable. Okay, let me just see. Sweatpants. Because I hate sweatpants. I'm like, girl, we do not need to have more sweatpants in our lives after COVID. Okay, so let's just see if I can find this real quick. Oh, here we go. I think I've got it. Okay, so that's the multi. All right, here we go. Add to the list, and then I can share that with you. Okay, next. The joys of technology, guys. Okay, so this is the cohort. So this can come as a cohort as either a skirt or as pants. Okay, and the magic top, so you can purchase them separately if you prefer. They are also available in different fabrics, so you could have it in this fabric if you prefer, if you like this kind of print. Again, everything is customizable, right? So this is the magic top, and this magic blouse goes so many different ways. So you can do it like this if you want to. Now, if it is possible for you, you can tie it at the back. We make these as wide as the fabric is. So there is a limit to how wide we can make it. So if it doesn't work for you to tie it at the back, then what you can do is just wrap it over and you put a belt on it, and it can be a wrap blouse. So what's nice is that you can have it as either or. So you either ballerina top it or you do that. And then you can also tuck it in if you prefer. So this is the example. And this is great because you can wear it with jeans. It gives you an extra layer. It also, when you wear it with the tie in the front, it actually disguises the tummy and gives you a really good, like, down the body. It works down the body, disguises the tummy, emphasizes here. It's really the most flattering, most flattering look. Now, this can also be worn with, say, a wrap skirt, or and I'll show you the different options in a second. Let me just see real quick. Do I have, oh yes, I have that underneath. This is the denim jacket. Okay, so I'm gonna need to take off my jeans. So give me a second, girls, and I'm a very quick changer. By the way, if there's any questions, please feel free to put that in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'd love to help you. This is the time, guys, this is like customized, live customization is really what it's about. So this gives you an opportunity to have these discussions. But if you feel a little shy and you don't want to do it in front of everybody else, then feel free to contact me. I'm happy to help you. Okay, so here we go. This is this is the code word. So these are, now I'm not a big fan of elasticated waists. I'm not crazy about them because what often happens is that there's a lot of bunching around here. And so it creates a lot of extra volume. But there is an elastic in here, but it's kept very plain and very flat so that it looks like a regular pant. And then it has the slits. Let me just hide this so that you can see it properly. Then it has the slits here in the hem. Okay, so why do I have that? Because I want to be able to give you the option to either wear it as a wide leg, okay, because sometimes that's going to be very good. If you are very hippie and you want to balance out your hips, the wide leg can be the best thing for you. Or you can wear it, I like to wear it like this, but then again, my widest point is not in my hips, so for me it works, okay, and it will depend on you. There, you can tie it. And so that's a really fun look. Then you can also take this and tie it around, and you start making it look like it's a one piece. So it can look like a jumpsuit even though it isn't. It is so much fun. And girls, I have to tell you, I've been wearing this, like I've worn this out, I've worn it at home, I've worn it so many different places, and it's so warm, it's so super soft. It is a really, really great piece. And this is what Jessica's talking about, because you can mix and match them, right? So you can put this with a skirt, you can put, so as an example, here's the snake skirt. I do have the snake skirt up here. So let me just do that one there. And so this is the snake skirt. I'm just going to put it on over the pants. It's okay. It'll be bulky, but it's all right. I'm sure you can imagine, right? Okay, so this is here we go. This is the snake. And then you could just wear it with the top. Okay, so I wouldn't wear the pants on underneath it. I'm not going to wear the pants on underneath it, but this is a really great fun look and an easy way to do it. And if you need more coverage over here, then you just pull this out. Okay, you just pull this out so that you're not wearing it as a ballerina top, but you wear it like, here we go, like this. So if you're the kind of person that is very tactile, this is going to really appeal to you because it is super soft. It is just, it's just divine. It is so divine. So you can purchase the pieces separately, girls, but it's cheaper to buy them together. And then there is also the option of getting a skirt rather than pants. So I would recommend that you get the wrap skirt because the wrap skirt will go with so many different things, and then you can mix and match it as well. Okay, so girls, that's what I have time for tonight. Are there any questions that you have? And if you feel that you need further information about any of the pieces, feel free to reach out. On Saturday, I do lives Thursdays and Saturdays. So let me explain how this works basically. So if you're really interested, my first thing is go to the website. I'm going to give you the link again. So let me just go here. You can use this QR code, okay? Or let me give you inside of the chat. I'm going to put, okay, just a second. Let me get the, let me get the link quickly, and I'm going to give it to you so that you can have either or. Okay. Again, the technology is letting me down. It's supposed to be working that it pushes them, but it doesn't. Okay, so there you go. So that is the link. You can go to the fall collection and you can take a look at a whole bunch of the pieces and the items that we've discussed tonight. Okay. Take a look and see what you really what speaks to you, what calls your name, what really excites you, or maybe even what makes you nervous. Ah, that's what I want to know. And then what you can do is email me and just say, hey, Trace, these are the pieces that I'm looking at. Can you assist me with this? And include your sizing that you're wearing roundabout. And I understand we're all different. So include your sizing. Give me your average sizes that you're wearing. Give me your height and tell me which pieces you're drawn to. And then we'll have a further conversation about that. If, however, you are the kind of woman who just wants to do your own research, you don't necessarily need the extra conversation, you just like the dress and you want to purchase it, there is a video there that will show you how to style it different ways. It gives you detailed information. The descriptions themselves are very detailed as we can get. And then also all of the sizes will actually show you. So it'll say if you are a 0 to 2, if you're a 0, it gives you the US sizes. So it hopefully makes it super easy. So you can purchase exactly as is, and you're absolutely welcome to. If you want to come back and just keep coming back for a while, girlfriend, you're welcome. You are absolutely welcome. And you are welcome to ask any questions and as many questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. So really my passion is to create a collection that is going to, my passion is to get the collection that I've created out to women so that you can feel fabulous about what you're wearing. You can feel fabulous about your body, regardless of what's going on with your body in any given day. And that's really my passion. And so feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to come to more of my shows. I would love to have you there. Subscribe to my newsletter because that will keep you up to date. And I will see you soon, girlfriend. I look forward to chatting.